And joining us to discuss this new information and other topics, our friend, WRKO talk show host and Boston Herald columnist, Howie Carr. Howie, we welcome you back to America's Forum.
My pleasure, JD.
So, Howie, you have known John Kerry for a long time. What about the Secretary of State in the post-release mode trying to defend the White House?
Well, I guess they couldn't send Susan Rice out again, JD. So the short straw was drawn by John Kerry. But to use one of the words that he used yesterday, baloney, I think what he said was a lot of baloney. I mean, what are these extraordinary methods that we have to keep track of these terrorists? And he said they don't represent a threat. I mean, so who are you going to believe? The U.S. military, which recommended not releasing these 5 terrorists, or John Kerry? It's just the story keeps changing, JD. I mean, it's like a moving target here. Remember, it was just 8 days ago that Susan Rice said that he was near death, and that's why they had to get him out. Now we're being told, well, he's in perfect physical shape, but it's the psychological problems that he has.
And Howie, that's not the only thing changing. We're getting some reports now claiming that Bergdahl may have tried to escape his Taliban captors on at least 2 occasions.
Right.
Do you believe those reports, or is this just an effort to try to silence the clamor and the criticism surrounding this entire deal?
Well, exactly. I think that they're trying to silence the critics again here. I mean, there are also reports that they allowed him to have weapons. I mean, if they really thought he was going to go back, I mean, would they give him a weapon? I don't believe so. And they're also saying they tortured him. I don't think we have any proof of that. I mean, I can't believe the stuff I'm reading in the New York Times, JD. I mean, you know the New York Times. I mean, it's a fanzine for Barack Obama, but I mean, even by their standards. I mean, I'm looking at a editorial here from Friday, the rush to demonize Sergeant Bergdahl, and you know what they say about him? He was a free-spirited young man who asked many questions but gave no indication of being a deserter, let alone the turncoat that the Obama opponents are now trying to create. He was a free-spirited young man.
Howie, now some are saying that the Bergdahl swap may have sparked new hope for Americans who have loved ones being held captive. Do you think the Obama administration will or should get involved in helping to secure their releases? And do you think this sets a precedent?
I guess it's a case-by-case situation here. But I think the people who've gotten a lot of encouragement here are the relatives of the Gitmo detainees. I mean, there's an amazing story in the New York Post yesterday about this group called the Periodic Review Board, which studies the cases of these terrorists that are still imprisoned at Gitmo. And this guy that wrote the story got the documents about how they're planning to release these people. And apparently this group, which is all appointed by Obama with no congressional oversight. So you know what that's like, JD. I mean, that's obviously a rubber stamp for the president. They say one of these guys should be released because he's become a devotee of yoga, and he read a biography of the Dalai Lama. And another guy wants to start a milk and honey farm in Yemen. So they're going to let this terrorist go.
Howie, what are your thoughts about Bergdahl not talking to his parents yet, and about his hometown canceling that welcome back party because of the potential of thousands of protesters?
I mean, the town, I mean, I think they made a wise decision. There were going to be all kinds of protests by veterans groups if they had allowed the parade to go forward. I wouldn't be surprised if the Obama administration officials at the hospital in Germany are telling him, you better, stay down low here for a while, and don't talk to your parents. It'll just stir up the hornet's nest even more. I mean, they're obviously the new story of the day seems to be, don't you think, that he's got mental problems from his so-called captivity or his desertion, whatever you want to call it.
Well, Howie, we need to switch topics, and obviously we've gotten your family pet incensed this morning. We can hear a little barking in the background.
I apologize,
That's
JD.
okay. No, this may result in even more barking from your pet canine. I guess we could title this portion of the program "When Democrats Attack Each Other," because it seems to be quite a race. You've got Martha Coakley, the old AG, Charlie Baker trying this thing again. Give us your tutorial, easy for me to say early in the morning, your primer on the Massachusetts governor's race.
Right. Well, next weekend is the Democratic State Convention. You have to get the candidates for governor on the Democratic or Republican side have to get 15% of the delegate votes at their party conventions to get on the ballot. So Martha Coakley, the Attorney General, who lost to Scott Brown and has been kind of, an unpopular Democrat since losing that race to replace Ted Kennedy back in 2010. She's running for governor now. And she is still extremely unpopular among the people who are going to be delegates to the party. Not so much the general public. She's running way behind Steve Grossman, the state treasurer, who's been running for governor for 12 years, basically, at the convention. But my newspaper, the Boston Herald, just this hour has released a poll showing that Martha Coakley is ahead by 32 points among the likely primary voters on the Democratic side.
Howie, we'll have to leave it there, my friend. We're out of time, but we'll be back to talk about this race. I'm sure always a pleasure to have you on. Howie Carr, columnist for the Boston Herald and WRKO talk show host. There's more to come here on America's Forum.